Hey Jake, thank you for making your comment to me just now about my video. I received a lot of people who asked me to continue with the subject. I really didn't think that it was going to get that kind of interest. You made some points that in your video that because I lived it, maybe I can clarify for you. You had asked, how long is a generation? It's not 10 years, it's really 20 years. A generation normally lasts for 20 years. In our situation, it was from 1945 to 1964. You know, it doesn't have to be 20 years, but usually a generation lasts for 20 years, meaning, you know, parents get married, they have children, and the children grow up, and it takes about 20 years for those children to grow up and make something of themselves. So that's how a generation is usually defined. You were born in the 70s, and yes, you're called Gen X. I don't know what that is. I do know that our generation was coined baby boomers because of the explosion of, children that were born during that time, and I think it was one of the few times that there was such an explosion of children born all at once within a 20-year span. So this is why they called us the baby boomers. As far as Bill Clinton goes, he was our first baby boomer president. So you can't say, well, the 90s are going to be the big, the Bill Clinton generation, because actually he was the first baby boomer president that we had. I just think that's cool. And, you know, George Bush is also a baby boomer, so I guess you know how I feel about George Bush. You say that when you think of baby boomers, you and other people think about just white people. No, that's not how it was. Baby boomers are everybody. See, there's a difference between now and then. When we were kids and we were going through the 60s and going through this political upheaval, it really had nothing to do with religion. We accepted everybody, black, white, Asian. It really was a time, I made some notes here so that you can understand this. It was really a time of total acceptance for everybody. I really wish that we had this type of mentality today, and we don't. The baby boomers, the blacks, the Asians, whites, everybody, we all worked together. We all accepted each other's religions, and by the way, religion really didn't play an enormous part during the baby boomer generation. It was more political, and it was more of us actually speaking out of what we felt were inequities. It really had nothing to do with religion. Religion was part of it, and we all respected each other's religion. Nobody pointed fingers at anybody's religion in those days. I gotta put on my glasses again. Sorry, sweetie. Hold on. And so anyway, as I said, oh, and by the way, you know, you talk about, you don't think about blacks. Well, Martin Luther King was a baby boomer, and he was black. So just so you see, it's not just white people. It was everybody. Yeah, we're called stupid Americans, and I think I know why. During the time that we were young, and we created so much change, and then all of a sudden it stopped. We sort of like went into a coma. And I think the rest of the world sees that and wonders why. And I wonder why. I wonder why people don't, you know, get up and speak out. And they shouldn't be afraid of speaking out and having fingers pointed at them. My God, we had so many fingers pointed at us, but we didn't care. We went ahead anyway. You know, we weren't really embarrassed about anything, and there was no religion problem back then. We were the generation of peace and love. That's all we cared about. We wanted peace, we wanted love. Now, at that time, of course, it was probably very naive at the time, but we took that type of mantra and included it with all of our political views. So really it has nothing to do with white people at all. It has to do with the people who grew up during that time, and not just white, it was everybody, just everybody. Racism. There's always been racism. There's always been racism from hundreds of years ago. I know that during the time that I was growing up, there wasn't as much racism during those few years, and it was really nice. I really wish we could recapture that time. I wish that the people and the young people today would learn much more about our resolve. So as I said in the beginning of this video, a lot of people are asking me to continue this conversation, and probably I will. I want you to understand something, and this is how I look at things. People on YouTube are being, older people on YouTube are being ridiculed because we're older. Well, I have news for them. We were the ones who got you where you are, and we're not going away. I'm not, at my age, I am not my mother's age when she was my age, if you get what I'm saying. We still believe in our values from back then. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in pointing fingers because someone has a different religion than I do. And I don't believe that anybody has the right to put people down because of it. The conversations definitely, absolutely should be there. Religious conversation is great, absolutely great. However, my generation and this generation is different in that we were not interested in the religion so much as changing the political atmosphere back then, and we did. So I hope that kind of answers a lot of your questions. I may be doing some more about this. Baby boomers are a particular generation that comes along very, very few times, and somebody had made a comment they wish they had lived during that time. It's very funny because when we were little and we were going through it, we didn't think we were anything special. It's just now that we're realizing that, wow, we really made a difference. So, Jake, you take care, and thank you for your remarks a lot. Bye.